Hi everyone, I'm Ian St. Clair, the lead writer at Play Colorado. My hope is to be the Peyton Manning of Colorado casino and sports betting news, though I'll probably end up being the Joe Flacco. But no need to worry, it'll still be elite. The main point of the documentary is to just highlight what is possible for the Colorado sports betting market and then the hurdles that the market had to overcome to get to this point. I mean, it was going to be an adventure to begin with when a state launches a brand new sports betting market, but then you throw in a global pandemic and no sports. I mean, when the only thing that you can bet on for the first month and a half is Russian table tennis, shows you that the sports betting market is reaching a little bit of a hurdle, that it's gonna take some time for it to reach its climax. And I think what this documentary does is I hope it builds excitement for what is possible with sports betting. As I just mentioned, when you have only Russian table tennis to bet on, or darts, I think that was another one of the sports that was available on some of the sports books. You'll have to be really in tune and a motivated bettor to get to that point. But even then, through May and June, the first month's handle was around a little over $25 million. And once major US sports started to come back at the end of May through the beginning of June, that would be NASCAR and the PGA Tour, you started to see that this was a motivated sports betting market. The June handle was close to 50% above that. It was close to 38 million. It was 38.1 million for the June handle. And now that we have the Colorado Avalanche coming back, and we have the Denver Nuggets back, and the Colorado Rockies back, I think you're going to see a continued rise in what the handle is going to be able to produce, because bettors are going to be motivated. It's going to really help this market take off to even what has been two remarkable months when you launch amidst a pandemic and no major sports. So now that we have these local sports back, when you look at the sports that have been in the top 10 for handle by wager the first 2 months, it's been the PGA Tour, UFC has been in there, tennis. I think you're going to see now that the NHL is in its two respective bubbles in Toronto for the Eastern Conference, and then the Avalanche in Edmonton at Rogers Arena for their bubble. I think you're going to see a big spike in betting for the NHL, betting for the NBA, and betting for the Rockies. Now, I'll start with the Avs because, as you can see in my background, that's one of the teams that I am a big fan of. They have a legitimate shot to win the Stanley Cup. They are a betting favorite amongst all the sports books that are available in Colorado right now. They are either with the Las Vegas Golden Knights or a little bit behind them in both the Western Conference, and to win the Stanley Cup. And it's legitimate. The team knows they have a legitimate shot to win their third Stanley Cup. It's going to be a fun journey to watch this team, see if they can get over that hump and get into the Western Conference Finals and potentially the Stanley Cup Finals. The Denver Nuggets, I'm more of a jaded Nuggets fan than I probably should be, but as I grew up in the 80s watching some of the best teams in NBA history, and the Nuggets were included with Doug Moe and Alex English, until the Nuggets clear the Lakers hurdle, I will be a jaded fan, because I've had my heart broken too many times by the Los Angeles Lakers, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, those Showtime Lakers. I hope they get there. They have the depth and the talent to do it. As for the Rockies, they're off to a historic start, and leave it to the Rockies in a historic, unique, crazy season for this to be the one that they actually come through and potentially compete for a World Series. The fact that they have gotten off to such a great start is remarkable. They can potentially win the NL West because they're still above the Los Angeles Dodgers. They could win the National League. They could compete for a World Series. So who knows? At this point, nothing is off the table for 2020. Obviously, it's a unique and crazy time on planet Earth in 2020. So leave it to college football, especially the two major conferences that are in Colorado, the Pac-12 and the Mountain West Conference. So I reached out to the state of Colorado and the Division of Gaming, and they gave me a great quote. They said, "We have been following the news about college football along with everyone, wondering what this means not only for sports betting, but also for the players, the programs, and the institutions. Looking over the preceding 3 months of sports betting in Colorado, the return of professional sports has demonstrated that Colorado has a sustainable market moving forward. We do anticipate that college football will have the same impact whenever they get the chance to play." And when I talked to Jay Carnegie, who is with the Superbook, and this is a little bit of breaking news. He keeps telling me that the Superbook is planning to launch in Colorado soon. So we should be seeing that, I think, probably by the end of August. He told me that college football represents 35% of the Superbook's handle for football. But he said it's not so dreary for them because he thinks 70 to 80% of that is going to shift to the NFL. And especially, he said, if the NFL takes advantage of games being played on Saturdays, which I think the NFL is absolutely going to do because, I mean, it's a moneymaker. That's what Roger Goodell and the 32 owners of the National Football League do, is they find any way to make money. They can't tell everyone what a catch is, but they can surely find a way to make extra money. While it's disappointing, especially for Colorado fans, they're not going to be able to bet on the Buffs or the Rams or the Falcons or even the Cowboys up in Laramie. But I think you're going to see a shift to even more emphasis on the National Football League.